also I just realized you guys are gonna hear my radiator like whistling. Welcome to New York. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm in a different setting. I'm in my chair today, my comfy burrow chair. And the reason for that is because it's currently snowing outside, number one. And I'm just, you know, I'm in my sweatpants, my sweatshirt. And today we're gonna review the Mr. Iced Coffee Maker. So throughout the video, I'm gonna insert some footage showing you how this works. I recently bought this coffee maker because I revamped my apartment a little bit and I was just looking for like something new, and I spend so much money on iced coffee, I figured why not? This is a lot of iced coffee, by the way. It does the job. And I'm going to talk about today the pros, the cons, my overall thoughts, and what I think about it and if you should purchase it or not. Well, actually, I guess that's for you to decide if you should purchase it or not. So, starting off with what exactly the coffee maker is. Mr. Coffee developed this iced coffee maker that took YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, it's really TikTok, it kind of overtook, by storm. And everyone was trying out this coffee maker. I think the reason why also people were trying it out so much is because it's not very expensive and it's available at Target. So win-win right there. I watched a lot of YouTube videos before I decided to actually purchase mine, and the reason for that was because I wasn't 100% sure if it was really worth the money or if I really needed it. I also was kind of in the market for a Nespresso, and I was thinking that I'd rather spend the money on a Nespresso, because Nespresso also at the time was making iced coffee pods, and I had used them at my mom's house before, but I decided, why not? I love iced coffee, let's get this. So first off, let's talk about the pros. And the first one is that the price is great. It's only $30, which is really not that bad. And because Target is the sole retailer, or is supposed to be the sole retailer, though I've seen this now listed on Amazon and on Walmart, it's returnable. You do have to spend $35 though to get the free shipping, and this doesn't qualify for free shipping if you're under that. But it's returnable. So that was a huge pro. Number two, it is super easy to use. Watching the YouTube videos, I really couldn't believe how easy it is to use. You basically put the water in one place, your coffee in another, you press it on, and you're done. And also on the cup itself, it comes with this tumbler, which is another pro that I have, is that it comes with pretty much everything you need except for ice. I'll get into that though. So it has a water line, you put that water in the water tank, and then it has an ice line and you put ice up to here. You stick this under the coffee maker, and once everything is good to go, you plug it in, you press the start button, and it starts making coffee. Yeah, it's that easy. The other pro to this is, besides it coming with everything you need, is that I like that you use your own coffee grounds. One of the things I can't stand about one-cup coffee makers, specifically like a Keurig, I have a one-cup coffee maker from Cuisinart, is most of the time you have to buy the Keurig cups, and they're not eco-friendly, they're full of plastic, they're also very expensive. I recently bought a reusable K-cup so I could use my coffee grounds, and it helped so much, and I've been saving so much money because I haven't had the need to purchase K-cups. I also think it actually tastes better, if I'm being honest. So I love that I can use my own coffee grounds in this coffee pot like a traditional coffee maker. So that is another reason why. The other thing to think about is that it's built by Mr. Coffee, which is a really notable brand. My parents have one of the little traditional Mr. Coffee coffee makers that makes about 4 cups of coffee, and I swear they've probably had that thing for like 15-20 years, and it still works like a charm. It works great. So I knew this was a reputable brand. And I've also have never seen a coffee machine like this before. I was researching and I saw like cold brew dispensers, or there was a cold brew maker I saw that looked like it was about the same size as this coffee maker, but it was $80, and people said it leaked all the time, it wasn't great. So again, Good deal. The other thing I like, which you may notice in the video, is that you might think that this waters down your coffee because it does melt the ice, and I'll get into that. Even though all my ice pretty much melted when I made this, it does not water it down whatsoever. Trust me, I used to make iced coffee myself, and how I used to do that was I would take a Pyrex cup, put hot coffee in it either from a regular coffee maker or my Keurig, throw it in the freezer for 30 to 45 minutes, and pour it over ice, and it was watery. It just never came out right. But for some reason, this is not totally watered down. That's a little watered down. It's not terrible though. I've had worse. I've had like way worse. Does the job. I mean, look, it's not like Starbucks grade, so I will say that. It's also a super, super small size, which I love. I have a kitchenette. I live in a studio apartment, and that was the other reason why I bought it, because I had multiple places I knew I could fit it in the apartment. I knew I could fit it next to my other coffee maker. I knew I could fit it in the corner, which I filmed it. That's where it sits. It sits right next to like my stovetop in a little corner. I also have another place I knew I could put it. So I knew the size was gonna make it super easy. Which is why I bought it. And the cleanup is also easy. So there's a basket that you actually put the coffee grounds in. I use a paper filter though this time around, and a lot of people I saw on YouTube were using paper filters for this. And it has a handle, and you literally just take it out, dump your coffee, wash it, and that's it. And then the tumbler is super, super, super easy to wash. It gets really clean really easily with some dish soap and a sponge and water. So I've had no problems. I have some plastic tumblers before that they're not the easiest to clean, and water bottles that are not the easiest to clean, but this is pretty easy. So now that we've talked about all the great things about this machine, let's talk about some of the not great things. So the first one is I did speed up the brewing process here, but it takes, no joke, about 4 minutes for this to completely brew. It brews very slowly, and even when you think it's done, it's not 100% done. It's still dripping. It still has coffee it wants to spout out. So that is the only thing. Unlike a Keurig where it takes, you know, a few seconds. It does brew like a traditional coffee maker where it might take you a few minutes, but it does take a pretty long time to brew, unfortunately. The other thing is that it does not fill the coffee all the way to the top. I don't know how people get it all the way to the top. I think this might be because I bought like pretty big ice cube trays, so they make big ice cubes, as you can see in the video. But the first time I used this, it only went up maybe a little bit past the water line. I was like, oh, that's weird. But I did measure how much water you get when you put in the water in the machine, and it actually is about 1.25 cups, I think, a little more. So you are getting about 18 ounces or so. Is that right? You're getting more than 16 ounces, which is a grande at Starbucks, okay? So you're getting your $4 of coffee in the cup. However, that might piss a few people off because it looks very deceiving. And I was watching YouTube videos again, and I was like, how are these people getting it to fill all the way to the top? Mine doesn't fill all the way to the top. You don't have to use the tumbler it comes with, though. I have seen many people use Starbucks tumblers or other tumblers with it. There is a fill line in the I can't talk today. There is a water tank in the coffee. So you can see me, there's two parts. You put the water in one part, the coffee in another. And in the water tank, it actually shows you where you need to fill it. So if you were to use any other tumbler, maybe you want to use a smaller one, you just have to make sure the water is filled correctly, and then just make sure there's like a tumbler underneath there. So you could use a smaller one if you wanted to make it look like you're getting your money's worth, or maybe if you have some sort of like, I don't know, glass instead. But I don't have any other drink tumblers, to be honest, so I really can't try it with anything else. I just have this one. But that was something that has pissed me off, and my mom said too, like, you might have to experiment with it a little bit, which is like any other coffee machine. For example, the Mr. Coffee machine my parents have, if I want 2 cups of coffee, which is about a serving in a coffee mug. I have to fill up the coffee machine to a little bit over 2 cups, the 2-cup mark on the side, and then it will brew like 2 cups exactly, so you lose a little bit of water. I did try putting in a little more water the other day though when I made my coffee, and it did water it down quite a bit versus putting in just the right amount, so I might have to keep experimenting, honestly. The other thing I mentioned is the ice, and the way that this works is the coffee doesn't come out cold, it comes out warm, but somehow it doesn't water down your coffee. I don't know what the magic is, but it did melt all of the ice that was in here, and you can see that in the video, in the footage that I filmed. That is one thing that kind of pisses me off. So yes, it's brewing your coffee, but it's not 100% cold, so you are getting ice meltage, which if you put too much in there, it can get too watered down. The other thing I did the other day, which it melted most of the ice, and then I put more ice in it, and that was not a great idea because then my coffee tasted like the ice. I don't know, that didn't work either. So if you use this, don't put any more ice than like you need to in it. I don't know, unless you like your coffee maybe like super cold. I don't know, but it does melt the ice. And the other thing which you probably notice is that it requires a lot of ice. So if you don't have a refrigerator or freezer that makes ice, if you like, you know, those fridges where you just put the cup under and the ice comes. So if you don't have an ice maker, or you have like a regular freezer where you have to use ice cube trays, this might be a pain for you. So I bought 2 ice cube trays. When I bought the coffee maker, I already have an ice cube tray in my freezer, but I knew it wasn't gonna make enough ice to fill up the cup when I was watching videos. So I did buy, so I had to buy 2 ice cube trays. I bought these ice cube trays, I didn't realize that they made like giant ice cubes, but I use, there's how many rows in it? There's like, I think there's like 6 or 9 rows in the ice cube tray, and I used like half of the tray the first time I did this. I used about 6 ice cubes. And if you're someone who doesn't, you might have to keep making ice and making ice and making ice, especially if you use this every day, which I've used it every day now for the last 4 days because I always like iced coffee a little more than hot coffee. So I could see how that would be a pain in the butt for maybe some of you, and that might be very annoying. Again, it does require a lot of ice, and the other thing is it is going to melt it. Another thing is that the coffee can drip all over the counter, so there's an open and close switch, and you saw when I was done I switched it off. So if you leave that open accidentally and take away the tumbler, guess what? You're gonna have coffee dripping all over your countertop. What I should have done is before you use it, open it up and just let any extra coffee kind of like spout out before you use it next. But that is something you have to remember. It's not like a regular coffee machine where it just, you know, it kind of turns itself off in some ways. You gotta make sure the spout is closed, or else you're gonna get coffee everywhere. And then the last thing, kind of like what I said before, is it does take some experimenting to get what you want. They have a recipe book that comes with the coffee maker, and they're affiliated with Torani syrups. There was, I believe, a promotion where if you purchased the coffee maker in Target, that you got like you could get free syrups from Torani with it, which brings me to another con. This comes in a lot of colors, which is great. It comes in 4 colors. However, this was selling out so quickly on Target. If you see that it's available, I would honestly just get it right away and either order online or go on the store locator on the website, and it will tell you which store has it and if there's a few left, or you could pick it up in store if you order it. But that's the other thing too. This coffee maker sells out super quickly because it has been apparently all the rage with the Gen Z kids. I'm not a Gen Z, I'm a millennial, so I feel old. But overall, this coffee is, if you love iced coffee, it's a really good price. I think this is a fun little gadget. You know, the fact that Target, again, is the main retailer, it is returnable. I saved the box in case for some reason it didn't work. The recipe book actually looks really fun, and it looks like there's some very easy to do recipes. The fact that you can use it with your own coffee, your own sweetener, your own milk, whatever you want. You can make iced coffee how you want. And this is a money saver. I used to go to Starbucks nearly every day, just about, and spend $4.30 on a cold brew. And I used to get talls, not even grandes. So the fact that I can get the same amount of coffee that I would get in a grande, even a little more, and I just made it at home with coffee grounds, which a whole bag of coffee grounds cost me about $10. Pretty good. I am using a little bit more of my nut pods though, and I didn't order any more from Thrive Market, so I got some almond milk instead for when I'm out of that. And they want to try using almond milk. I think it might taste a little better, but I like the fact that you can kind of just make it how you want. It's super easy. The fact that it comes in this tumbler is great. This is my one coffee for the day. And yeah, you do have to experiment with it though. And like I said, it does require quite a bit of ice and quite a bit of experimenting. You don't have to get paper filters either. I just saw a lot of people on YouTube using paper filters, and I just thought for cleanup it might be easier. I don't know if it makes a difference with the taste of the coffee, but yeah, it's up to you. I think the machine is worth it if you drink a lot of iced coffee, but if you already have your own methods, or maybe you make your home cold brew, then maybe this isn't for you. But I was looking at some cold brew makers and things on Amazon, and a lot of them had so-so reviews. Some people said that, you know, the cold brew maker cracked, or, you know, it watered down. I also have a small fridge, so I can't get one of those like Takea big cold brew pitchers. I know some people buy those and they like those because it kind of makes cold brew for you, but I think this is just as good, especially if you're working from home. This is kind of fun to do in the morning. And again, great for small spaces. I think it's worth it, to be honest. Like I said, I got it on Target.com. It came within a few days. I bought some ice cube trays with it too, some silicone ones, which are great in general for when I drink water or something else. But so far, so good. Thank you so much for watching. I am trying to post a little more consistently, but Instagram is below. I also have a podcast with my friend Krista. We post every Tuesday morning. It's called OMG Stop. Oh my God, stop. Because we say that all the time. We are two 20-somethings talking about 20-something life. We are in our second season right now, but you can listen to all of our episodes wherever you listen to podcasts, Spotify, iTunes. Leave us a review and rate us if you don't mind. And yeah, do you guys have this coffee maker? If you do have this iced coffee maker, let me know if there's like some tips and tricks I should know, things I'm not doing correctly. I would love any help and advice. Thank you so much for watching, and hope you're all staying safe. Bye.